welcome back to my channel and welcome to another tutorial. I have been promising myself and you guys that I would film another tutorial for the last week and a half, but school has gotten, and I thought it was supposed to not get, so stressful. I was casting this week for a show that I'm directing, which took up a lot of my time. Research day is coming up and I still haven't written my paper, but I started this week, so I finally got to sit down and film a tutorial. And I recently got this in the mail. This is the Persona Identity palette. I picked it up on Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. This palette was half off, and let me just say, I'm fully obsessed with this. And I did this kind of halo-ish eye. I wanted to do an everyday look because the last makeup look I did, the monochromatic smoky eye, is definitely not necessarily like wearable. I mean, I wore it to school and work for 2 days, but I wanted something that like just is a bit more classy, so I came up with this look using this palette. So I'm done babbling this time. If you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to start by dipping into the shade Charming, and I'm using a Moda M16 brush, the same brush I used in my last video as my transition shade, and I'm just going to focus this above my crease and kind of blend it everywhere because it is kind of very pigmented and I want just a seamless kind of blend and a nice little wash. And I'm just doing that on the other lid as well. This eye for me is always so much harder to blend than the other one, and I don't know why. I set them the same way, I use the same concealer, I don't know what it is, but I'm just spending a little bit more time on this eye and I'm dragging it and flicking it to start this little cat eye effect that I like so much. I'm taking that color Charming on a Real Techniques 203 metal brush thing. It was from the Metals collection, and I'm just focusing this on the inner and outer corners of my eye to start the halo look, but to kind of blend it more seamlessly into my transition shade by using my transition shade. So I'm really just packing this on and then blending it out afterward. I'm dipping into the shade called Maverick, and I'm using that to deepen up my outer and inner corners on the same Real Techniques brush. And this is very pigmented, so I'm just going to blend it out. Again, I'm packing before I blend, and you can see the halo start to happen, just making sure to keep the center of my lid free. I'm just doing that onto the other side, my little treble eye. And I'm sorry for my camera angle here. I don't know what I was thinking, but you missed the fact that I'm getting my inner corner, but just imagine it for now. And then I'm going back in with that M16 brush with no additional product, just to blend out anything there and make sure that everything is pretty seamless. Then I'm going into the shade called Fearless, and oh my god, is this pigmented. I actually took literally I just dipped it in and I had to put it onto the inner corner of my eye as well. So I'm just packing this and blending this out again. And I'm using the same Real Techniques brush because I just think it's easier to not go in with like a million different brushes if you don't have to. And I know a lot of people like to use a smaller brush for the inner corner of their eye, but I don't like to. I just rather stick with one brush the whole time and not make anything confusing or make extra work for me to clean the brushes. And then I'm going back in with a bit more of Charming on the same brush And then I didn't like that it wasn't deep enough. Like, I wanted the crease to be just a little bit deeper, so I took more of Maverick and I just put that right into the crease and started blending that out with that same brush. And then I went back in again with no additional product just to blend out that extra. And as you can see, what is it with this eye? I have so many issues. Then I'm going into my favorite shade. This is Seductive. This is so beautiful. These shadows are so insanely beautiful and pigmented and creamy. I don't know, they just shine for a million miles. And I just think this is the most like flattering taupe shade ever. So then I'm just taking a brush with a little bit more of Maverick and just blending that into Seductive to give it a seamless look. I'm packing more onto the other side. Again, I always apply these shimmer shades with my finger. I just think they look the best they can possibly look when I get my finger, and I get the best payoff. So then I'm going into the shade Maverick again on my lower lash line with an Essence smudger brush. This is like a smoky eye brush, I think it's called. It was $1.99 and I love it so much. I picked it up from Ulta. And I'm just doing the inner and outer corners of my eye. And then this palette says it's the best for brown eyes, but I think this palette really makes my green eyes pop. And then I'm dipping back very smallly, dipping back into Fearless and just getting the outer corners and inner corners just a little bit deeper. Then I'm going back in with Charming on the same transition brush and just making sure everything blends together very nicely. And then I'm going back into that Seductive shade, and on my finger I'm just pressing this right into the center of my lid where the other Seductive shade is to make it a complete halo. Some people like to skip this step, but I think for this look I really wanted to keep it. Then I'm going into this shade Sassy. Then I'm going into a Colourpop liner. It is in the shade Besto, and I'm just running this on my waterline. Then I'm using this It Cosmetics mascara called Hello Lashes, and the wand on this is so interesting because it's like 3 parts of it are pokey and the other parts are small, but you can see it still makes my lashes look super long. I picked this up on sale at Ulta probably around winter time, and I love it so much. The packaging is also beautiful. Then I'm going with a blush. I'm using the Tarte shade Exposed, and this is just my favorite nude blush. Then I'm taking the Everglow highlighter and I'm mixing the 2 lightest shades together, and I'm putting that on the tops of my cheekbone. Gives it a nice glowy look. I love it. And then I'm just adding that to my Cupid's bow and to my nose as well because I like to glow. Then I'm going in with the Ofra Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Manila. This is my favorite liquid lipstick, I think, of all time. It is like my lips but better, and it's not a drying formula even though it's matte. It just stays on my lips all day and always looks so nice. So I wanted to make it wearable, so I picked this nude lipstick. Okay guys, that completes this look. I did take my hair down. It's still wet, but what else is new for me? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see any kind of tutorial, I was thinking about doing an eyebrow tutorial and also like a foundation routine for dry skin. So if you want to see those videos, please comment down below. Subscribe if you want to, and thank you again. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.